Hi guys, I'm Joy,
Hi, I'm Andrew.
and welcome to the Joyfully Golden podcast.
Welcome, everybody. Today we're talking about enjoying every moment because, as you and I both know, life is short, it's precious, but gotta live like we're gonna die tomorrow. No
Indeed.
regrets.
Absolutely.
So,
Uh-huh.
what is so important about really being in the present to you?
I think there's so many different ways in which I can think about because I mean you already know it because of how I'm wired. I'm very very goal oriented, and so it's very easy to spend a lot of time in like in the future, in the next 10 years, the next 20 years, the different things that I want to accomplish. But at the same time, there is the unbending reality that we could die today or we could die tomorrow. And because of that fact, or I guess that uncertainty in life, it's so crucial to learn to make the best of every moment, or to enjoy every single moment, because the reality is that every moment could be your last. Like every moment you get with a friend could be the last you have with that friend. Every moment you get to work on a dream could be the last you have to work on that dream. Every moment you get with a child, with a spouse, with in nature, like doing all these beautiful things, could be the last thing you get to do them. So spending those moments outside, like being there present physically, but being somewhere else mentally, almost doesn't make sense, because
Right.
you're spending energy and time maybe somewhere things are better, maybe, or where you're going, but the reality is that you're here. We're here in these chairs, in this space right now. And that's all that reality is right now when you really think about it. Like everything else is just goals, plans, possibilities, wishes, hopes, but this is the present. And so I think when you really like dive deep into that and think about it, I don't know, like I think it ought to help you not only be a little more careful with how you treat every moment, but it allows you to see every moment for what it really is,
Yeah,
a gift.
I like that.
A gift. And when something is a gift, you pay attention with it. You're careful with it. I don't know, you treat it because it's with care and with passion, because it's precious. And I think that's what directly comes to my mind when I think of enjoying every moment and being in every moment, because the reality is that it's a priceless one-time gift that you get. So how do you spend, what are you going to do with it? That's how I think about it.
Exactly.
But how about you? What comes to your mind when you think about enjoying every moment?
So when I think about enjoying every moment, I really think about not worrying about having to tell other people how much it meant to me necessarily. And let me try and better explain that. It's more of enjoying the moment means this doesn't always have to be captured on my phone. This doesn't always have to be posted like on my social media accounts.
That's good.
It's who I'm with and what I'm doing, and having it felt here and remembering about it up here.
Wow.
And a couple of things that I can really think about that I've really enjoyed are just the time spent with people. Because if you can like video record, take a picture, you can be like, oh, I remember what I was wearing, or I remember what I said because it's on video. But it's like you'll always remember how you feel, or how somebody made you feel, or how like going to a concert, how hearing the orchestra made you feel. One of the things that I really enjoyed was when you and I went to Sequoia National Park.
That was a fun trip.
And you were just like, oh my gosh, looking at these trees. And I just enjoyed remembering when I saw them when I was a little kid. And I was like, look at these trees. And I just enjoyed being there. And I was like, we could be so many other places, but we choose to be here. We choose to be inspired by nature. We choose to go on this hike where people from all over the world go and visit. And it was in that moment that I was like, this is amazing. It's not like, oh, I have to be like, hey guys, look what I'm doing, look what I'm doing. It's like, I'm just there enjoying the moment. And to me, it's like, that's what that means, is being present. We have a lot of plans. We have a lot of future things we want to focus on. But when we really enjoy the people we're surrounded with, like you mentioned, enjoy the things that we decide to do, then we can value our time as well spent. And I think that it's important to really value what you're doing, and that's how you're able to enjoy the moment.
Oh my gosh, I love that so much. I love the fact that how you were able to tie it with pretty much enjoying every moment with the feelings in the moment. And I want to dive into it a little bit before we move forward. Like, because we all know that all the feelings we experience within each moment that we spend our lives in are not always good. They're not always positive. Sometimes we experience fear. Sometimes we experience doubt.
Enjoy this fearful moment.
Right? Sometimes we experience pain.
Right.
Sometimes we experience loss. And so I guess I want us to dive a little bit into what should enjoying every moment look like when the emotion attached to those moments is not the happiest, or it's not the warmest, or the most positive emotions. What does enjoying every moment in that context become?
I think it becomes seeing the process for what it is and where it's taking you. Because you can have a difficult moment where you're struggling with something. A lot of people struggle day to day. Could be simple decisions. It could be really life-changing decisions. Things that we've done ourselves that have caused us to, the consequences have caused us to now be in this discomfort. Or maybe it's in the process of changing into a better version of ourselves that we're struggling and looking at as this is a temporary moment rather than
that's
the
good.
Even a reality in a sense. Is it real that we're feeling this way? Of course. But is this life defining? Was this maybe how you even felt that morning when you woke up? Because there's a lot of things that will happen where seconds ago it didn't matter. Now all of a sudden, boom, you get a piece of information on the timeline of your life that immediately focuses your attention. You'll feel a certain way about it, but then you've got to think and separate from that feeling and think, okay, how I'm feeling right now isn't the rest of my life. Yes, I may be uncomfortable now, but I could get through it. And there's a reason why this is causing me to pay attention. And I think it's one of two things. One is because it does matter, and we do need to address it. Or two, it actually doesn't, but we think it does.
Wow, that's good.
Yeah, that's my thoughts on that matter. What about you?
Yeah, no, I think I will definitely just add on to that. I think something, because when I think of enjoying the moment, I guess it's easy to think of being happy in the moment, which I don't think that's how we should think about it. I think when we think of enjoying every moment, we should think in being grateful for every moment instead. I think it was Jim Rohn who said that one of the most important part of being a human is to welcome every human experience. Yes. Because no matter how painful or how difficult, weird, confusing they might be, every human experience gives us the opportunity to be human. And no matter what that means in the moment, that's a part of being human. And that makes us human, the fact that we can feel those things. But I think so many times we try to disconnect from those moments, either because of the pain or because of the confusion of the hurt. But by trying to do so, we shy away from what literally helps us like be alive, because feeling even the pain, I don't know why I keep going back to pain, but it's the extreme, I guess, of pleasure. But even that is an opportunity to be alive, because dead people don't feel pain. And I think when you have that perspective of enjoying every moment as being grateful for every moment, you don't necessarily look for things that make you happy in each moment, but you look for things that become worth it in every moment. Because there's multiple instances in my life, and I'm sure in yours, so in everyone's life, when you can look at a moment and you like, absolutely nothing about this day will ever be something good that I can look at and be like, oh my gosh, like that was even enjoyable in the moment. But I also have so many of those moments that when I look in the trajectory of my life, I know for a fact I will not be where I am without those moments, without those tragic moments, without those difficult decisions that I had to make. And so when you look at it like that and how it fits in this trajectory and where we're going, then it's not about being happy in that moment. It's just about being grateful for it because you understand that it was a part of the process. It was a part of the story.
Yeah.
And I think that's the perspective that really helps us be in every moment, because the choice in every single moment we have the opportunity to get in this life, there is a piece of the puzzle that completes this experience. And we might not be able to see it in the moment, but one day, in few weeks, months, or years, I almost certainly we can look back and see that piece just fitting into that puzzle, you know? And so, yeah, I just wanted to add it to that. But I have another question for you. So, what do you think is, at least in your own personal experience, what do you think is either one or some of the biggest, and I guess you kind of touched on it a little bit, but what are some of the biggest threats or obstacles, I guess, to enjoying every moment? Because I feel like we live in a day and age in which, not to answer the question, but I know there's a lot of things that can prevent us from being in the moment, for fully being in every single moment. And so what do you feel like in your life or in your observation are some of those things, or one of those things that you feel like you have to fight against, you know, almost every day to be in every single moment?
Well, one of the things I think is that sometimes oftentimes we take life too seriously.
Oh,
and I'm guilty of this a lot. So I have
good.
to remind myself, because whether it's a celebration, a wedding, a graduation, a promotion, or a test for school, or a deadline, we oftentimes will focus too much on the end result that we lose the ability to consciously live in the moment. So we kind of self-sabotage in a way,
Good.
and that's a big one. So don't take life too seriously.
Wow.
And I don't think you do.
But I try not to.
I know sometimes I do, and I remind myself, like, do I need to be this concerned? It's like, no, I really don't. That's one thing that gets in our way.
Wow.
Another thing that gets in our way is that we're going to care about other people more so than ourselves. And I think that on one hand, it's good to do things that are kind for other people. It's good to be considerate of others. But this is your life. You know, don't live your life for someone else.
Oh,
You know?
let's go.
Don't be living your life for a parental expectation, a spousal expectation, a work expectation. Because at the end of the day, first of all, most people don't care, and then you're putting this unrealistic expectation on others. It's like, oh, I went to this thing and all these other people didn't react the way that I did. It's like, okay, but did you have fun? Well, I was too worried thinking about what they were going to think, and then you lost the moment.
Wow.
Or the third thing is not understanding the moment. And I think that's what just kind of comes with wisdom and experiences. I remember it was my sophomore year of high school, and we were at our end of the year soccer party at pizza place. I think it was Round Table or Mina. One of those two. And we were hanging out, and me and this other guy, and we were playing these games on the arcade. We're like, oh, we got cards, cool. We're playing arcade, we're talking, we're laughing, playing, and that was fun. And then I looked behind me, and coach was like, oh yeah, dude, it was good, great season, everything. And then it was over. And then what I realized is that I was so focused on playing this game with my buddy that I was going to see for the next 2 years. All the seniors on the team, that was a great opportunity to have gotten to talk to them. My coach, this would have been a great opportunity to have gotten to talk to him.
Wow.
And it was like, it was gone. And then everybody left. And it was the end of the year, and a lot of those people, that was the last time I saw them. And I was so focused with this guy. And that, if you choose, like I chose, I had a good time doing that. but I also recognize that I lost out on this opportunity of conversation with these people.
Wow.
So don't let technology or temporary enjoyment get away from something that you're going to be able to look back on. Because I remember.
That's good.
I remember that day very well. And I remember being bummed about not sitting down at the table, eating the pizza, and talking to the guys and the coach.
Wow.
Rather than playing a game that's still there, and I could go and pay 50 cents to play it again. I could call up that guy and be like, hey, let's go play this game. So,
wow.
Those three things.
Wow.
To me.
That was powerful. And I think, I'm pretty sure so many people can connect to it. And I guess for me, I'm just going to start with that one right away with technology. Because, I think your example was so perfect. Because we go to these things that will never leave, that will always be there. And we keep choosing to distract ourselves with those over people that technically are dying, that will be eventually taken away from us because of time or because of just life, people moving, people getting new opportunities. And we keep choosing this temporary satisfaction and feeling of gratification from likes, from overstimulation, from watching all these things over these meaningful opportunities that we have every single day to actually be in the moment with people that are around us. And I think, I find myself guilty of that many times, even though if I could, I would absolutely never be on social media. If I could, if it was possible to run my business and do everything I do without ever having to be on social media, I would. Because first of all, I don't feel like that's how we were meant to connect at all. And I've never personally chosen being on social media or on my phone over maybe having a conversation with my wife or hang out with a friend and felt great about it later. That has never happened to me. But the opposite has happened many times, and I've been grateful that I didn't choose my phone. So I guess that's one of them. But one other two that I feel like a lot of people can relate to as far as an obstacle to living in the moment is just being busy. Because I think, you
gotta make time to enjoy the moment.
You literally have to, you have to fight to enjoy the moment almost. Because, sometimes I get so busy that an entire week has just, gone by, and I have to try so hard to remember what happened that week. Just because I was driving the entire week. I was there, I was here, I had to finish this project, I had to work on this. And when you think about that, that's a week. That's 7 days filled with 24 hours that are just gone, never coming back. That's it. That week is gone. And and a lot of us never even pause to pay attention to that. But a week, 54 weeks, 54 other weeks, and before you know it, there's all this time and all these months and all these years that have gone by, and you were busy, you were productive, granted, but what are you keeping with you? Are you really living, or are you just functioning like a machine? Because machines do that. Machines operate at their peak. They never have to stop because machines don't need to retain memories. Machines don't need to live. Machines are not humans. But we were not wired to be like that. And so many times I fall in that trap because you have bills to pay, because I have goals that I want to reach for. And so I just throw myself so hard into working and meeting all these deadlines and doing all these things that sometimes I feel like I just don't do the best job that I can to being in every single moment. And that's so real, and I'm sure millions of people can connect to this. But it's hard. It's really hard. And I don't even think I know the answer to that or a solution to that. But what I can say for a fact is that every time that I force myself to pause, even for a few minutes, and just pull up on the side of the road and just breathe in, look outside at the birds, look at the sky, call my wife or call a friend, check on them. Every single time I have interrupted the busy life to be in a moment, I've never regretted it, not a single time.
It's almost like you say, taking the time to call somebody. There are times throughout various days, not every day, but some days where I'll be like, hey, I should call so-and-so. And every time I do, I'm always happy that I did. And if I don't get a hold of them, I leave them a message because there's a reason why, whether it's for me, for them, I'm thinking that it's like, hey, call this person. Make that connection. Even if it's, hey, how's it going? I'm trying to get a hold of you. Let's catch up sometime. All right, talk to you later. Bye. Because then they'll get that message and they'll be like, hey, yeah, why couldn't I answer the phone? Am I too busy? Are they too busy? It's always great to enjoy the moment. And part of enjoying the moment is enjoying the process and things. Becoming successful, working hard to have goals is good. Enjoy the goals. Enjoy the part of learning how to get something done. Enjoy learning how to be better at skills that you're trying to develop. I remember a moment that I really enjoyed was when I was riding motorcycles with my dad as a kid. And I thought, okay, one day I'm going to ride a motorcycle by myself as an adult. And I have. And we rode out. I was working at this fireworks company, TNT Fireworks, and he rode with me that morning on bikes, and then I was gonna ride home by myself, and I was like, okay, by myself should be fine. Don't dump the clutch, it'll be fine. Just get there, get home, and I'm riding back on the 41, and I'm coming up under the 180 overpass, and that moment I will enjoy forever because I decided when I was a kid I was gonna learn how to ride motorcycles. I went to the courses, the classes to learn how to ride. I put in the practice and I got to enjoy this moment. And I think when we initially do things, we always kind of have that first time enjoyment. I think as we move forward, or whether it's competitive nature or relentless pursuit of perfecting a craft, I think that's when we maybe stop enjoying the moment because we're more focused on an outcome because we want it a very specific way.
Absolutely.
It's kind of like when a parent's so excited that, their child learns how to walk or talk or say their first word. The kid keeps trying. The kid keeps trying to get up, falls down, get up, falls down, keeps babbling. It's like my niece right now. She's babbling all the time. But eventually she'll get to talk. And I can see the enjoyment in my sister-in-law and my brother as they're watching, my mom being a grandmother, me getting to talk to her. And I'm enjoying those moments because one day she'll just be talking. And I remember when she was trying to learn how to talk. I remember she kicking her feet, getting all excited. And it's so great that we're able to recognize, hey, slow down, like you said. Let's enjoy this thing. Because one day, you're going to blink and your life's just going to flash before you. So
absolutely,
might as well make it something great.
Wow, that was so well said. And as we wrap up today, I guess I just want to leave like a thought that was going through my mind because I think in terms of movies, and so I was considering if life is made off of these moments that we get to be in, and then we're in this minute, and then we're in the next minute, or we're in this day, and then the next day. And we make it a habit to just keep flying through these weeks or keep flying through these months because we're either so busy or so distracted that we miss out on being in every moment with the people that we love, with our feelings, our thoughts. It's almost like watching a movie and missing some of the frames or some of the scenes. And what ends up happening is if you watch a movie like that, you get to the end of the movie and it doesn't make sense because there's moments missing. There's pieces that are critical to the plot that you missed. And because of that, even though the entire movie, when it's complete, makes sense, to you it doesn't make sense because you missed all these different... And I feel like so many people, and again, this is not like a professional claim or anything, but I have a feeling that a lot of people get to the end of their lives And a lot doesn't make sense because it's just years of their life that they've given to all these other things. And because they were either, again, so distracted or so busy, they didn't get to be in those moments, be in the seasons, and so rooted in them and living in them. And so by the end, they're wondering, where did it all go? You know, like, when did all this happen? And I feel like this hopefully is, for me, it's a scary thought, you know. And so I hope for someone else out there too, it's just an encouragement to realize that this movie that we get to be the directors of, the writers of, the lead actors in, you know, as human beings, it's not worth skipping too many scenes, because I want to get to the end of my life and be able to look back and say, wow, you know, that season was rough, but boy, I was in it. You know, that friend, he's away now, you know, he lives all across the world, but boy, that was amazing, the time I got to spend with him, you know. Or my child, she or he is getting married now, but boy, it was amazing when he was a kid. I remember all these times playing with him. I want that, you know. I don't want to get to the end and be like, what happened? I can't even recall it, you know. And I know it's hard, I know it's difficult, but hey, everything that's worth doing, it's worth doing badly, and it's worth doing it hard, you know. And so I that thought just gives me literally the chills just to even consider getting to that point. And so I hope that you know, this episode overall, this conversation really just inspires someone to start making those scenes count today, you know, and moving forward. So I don't know if you have any like last thoughts too that you would like to, you know, just share.
Enjoy the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Be present.
Mm.
Don't take life too serious. Because you never know. You can go outside the next day and get hit by a bus. So might as well enjoy what we have today.
Mm-hmm.
See you next time.